Hello again everyone, welcome to another exciting tutorial. It's me, Seunfunmi. Today we're going to dive into the essential elements of user onboarding, sign up and login flows. In this video, we're going to be creating this onboarding, sign up and login flow right here. It is a simple onboarding and sign up flow for a burger shop. It is going to be interactive input field, and I'm going to show you how to make use of auto layout and component to design the input field. First things first, let's talk about onboarding screens. They are the initial screens user encounter when they first interact with your app. They play a very crucial role in setting the tone and helping the users understand the values of the app. The elements in the onboarding screens include a welcome message, a brief explanation of your app's feature, and visually engaging graphics, image or illustrations. The sign up screen is where the user creates accounts and become part of the app community. A smooth sign up process is very crucial for users' retention because they can come back and use your app again. The login flow is where users return to have access to the app. So the login flow is for returning users. We have to make this process very quick, intuitive and very secure. Okay, so I'm going to create a new page. So from this page, you can see this icon. You click on this page one, the drop down. So when you click on the drop down, it brings you to this icon. So this icon becomes obvious. Then I'm going to click on this icon, add a new page. Now I'm going to rename this page to mobile UI. So now we're going to be working on a mobile view for the onboarding, the sign up and the login. So I'm going to come here to my frame icon. Then I'm going to pick a phone frame. Let's go with iPhone 13 and 14. Okay, here we are. I'm going to include my corner radius. Let's use the corner radius of 24. So these are my illustration. I'm going to copy this and bring it to my mobile UI. Okay, good. So we'll be working in this blue color, this blue. So let's create a guide for that. It's just this blue I'm going to create a guide for. In our previous video, I showed you how to create a color guide. So this is how we create our color guide. I'm going to draw this rectangle. I'm going to color it this color of the blue I need. I'm going to be working with this blue. So I'm going to use my color picker to pick this color. Okay, I've picked the color already. I'm going to rename and save my color style. Come to this 4 icon here. And click on this plus sign. I'm going to rename it to primary color. Okay, I have a primary color before because of my previous video. So I'm going to use the full stop to demarcate both of them, to differentiate the both of them. So I'm going to create my style. So I'm going to be working with this blue. So this is the first screen in the onboarding. So I'm going to rename my frame onboarding. Make sure you always rename your frame. It's very important so you can know which screen you're working on. Then I'm going to change this color to my primary color because this is going to be the first screen. And I'm going to bring in the logo of my burger business, or the burger shop rather. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it into my mobile frame. I'm going to centralize it. So you come to the right sidebar, you click on align horizontal centers and align vertical centers. So that's done for this screen. So I'm going to duplicate the screen, Ctrl D. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to change my color of the onboarding to white. So I come here, I click on white. So now I introduce my status bar. I'm going to duplicate this also. I'm going to centralize and I'm going to make it align top. I'm going to align it to the top because it will always be at the top of our mobile frame. So align top. Good. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my illustration. So this is the first illustration. I'm going to duplicate this. So I got my illustrations from story sets. I use story sets to get this particular illustration. So you can search storysearch.com. You're going to get illustrations like this. There are also many places you can get illustration. We have Illustration Universe, and other place we have Blush Design for your illustration. So I'm going to make use of story sets today. I'm going to centralize this. I'm going to raise it up. I'm going to introduce my text, my welcome text. Welcome to blogger. So I'm going to make use of Lato typeface. Lato. Remember there are different types of typeface. We have Lato, Poppin, Manro, various type of font size or font faces you can use. Just make sure you use a fine font face. So I'm going to make this semi-bold. I'm going to increase it. Let's make it 20. Let's make it 24. 24 looks good. Let's make it 24. Centralize. So now I'm going to write the text that's going to be under it. This is going to be medium. This is going to be 16. Let's make it 14. So you can see that there is a hierarchy in the typeface. So the title text is going to be bolder and bigger than the down text, the body text, because of hierarchy. So now I'm going to type enjoy the light taste of passion and fulfillment in our blogger. So I'm going to reduce this. So let's make it 16. 14 looks smaller. Make it 16. Introduce my grid style. Remember how we got our grid style? So let's create a grid style for mobile. So I'm going to click on this plus button here to create a grid style. Then I'm going to come here, grid layout settings. Then I'm going to go to that drop down and click on columns. So for mobile, we'll be using 4 count, margin of 20. Then our gutter is going to be 20. I'm also going to create grid for the screen. I'm going to click on this plus again. I'm going to come here and I'm going to use 32. I work with the count 88, the 88 rule. Then I'm going to create my style, create style. So we have created the web grid style. Now we're going to create the mobile grid style. Mobile grid style. And I create style. So now I'm going to align this properly. I'm going to start from my grid margin and end in this right grid margin. Good. So I'm going to use auto layout for the both text. So I'm going to go to the auto layout in the right bar section and click on this plus here. I'm going to use auto layout of 16. I'm going to drag this up. Good. So now I'll be working on this, the indicators of screens. I'm going to use a rectangle. The width is going to be 40. Then the height is going to be 10. So I'm going to put corner radius 8. And I'm going to change this color to the primary color. So I'm going to duplicate this. And make the width 10. Let's make the width 16. Still looks good. I'm going to duplicate this again. So I'm going to change these colors. I'm going to detach. I'm going to use a lighter shade of blue, very light shade. So I come here, I pick a very light shade of blue. Okay, I'm good with this. Then I put these 3 in an auto layout. I'm going to use auto layout of 4. Centralize them. I'm going to change the height to 8. 10 looks big. This is 8. Okay, it's perfect. I'm going to centralize them. So now we're going to introduce our button next. Remember how we did button components in our previous video? So I'm going to show you again how to create button components. I'm going to create my frame. Okay, good. I'm going to keep it 48. So I'm going to color it, our primary color. And I'm going to drag this down. So I'm going to be showing you how to create the button component. I'm going to include my text. Let's use sign up. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to centralize it vertically and horizontally. Corner radius here. I'm going to use corner radius of 16. I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to change the shade of blue because this is going to be my inactive button. I'm going to change the shade of blue to lighter blue. This is okay. Now I'm going to create an outline button. I'm going to duplicate this also. So I'm going to remove this color, add strokes of my primary blue, and change the text inside the frame to my primary blue also. So I'm going to put them in a component set. But before I do that, I'm going to rename them. So this will be active button. This will be my inactive button, and this will be my outline. And this will be my outline button. So I'm going to put 3 of them in the component set. I click on them, then I come up to this toolbar. You can see this drop down. I click on it, component, and I create component set. Create. I'm going to move this to this place. Then to use your component set, I'm going to copy this. Command C, Ctrl C. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste to replace in this frame I created earlier. I'm going to do paste to replace. So since it's my onboarding, I'm going to change the text here to next. And I'm going to take this down. Okay, looks good like this. So I'm going to introduce another text. That says skip. I'm going to drag this down. Skip. I'm going to adjust it here. So I'm going to change this because it's going to be a call to action also. To my primary color. Then I bring it to the right side of the mobile frame. So I'm going to auto layout of 16. Good. I'm going to bring this down a bit. And this. So I'm going to be adding circles to give our onboarding screen some matured look, because it's looking plain like this. I'm just going to be adding 4 circles. So I'm going to make them 24 by 24. So I'm going to remove this fill. I'm going to introduce strokes, our primary color. I'm going to make this 4. I'm going to be reducing the opacity. I'm going to use the opacity of 16. I'm going to bring this to the edge. I'm going to introduce another one, just duplicate or copy and paste. So I'm going to reduce this one. I'm going to make this one 16. And reduce the stroke size. I'm going to make this one 3. So I'm going to duplicate the 16 and bring it down. So I'm using my alternate key or option key to duplicate. So I just click on the alternate key or option key. And I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to make this 24 and stroke 4. And take it up a bit. I'm also going to take this one up also. Good. So now I'm going to remove the grid so we can see how our design looks like. We have our first onboarding, and I'm going to duplicate this onboarding screen for the second one. I'm going to change the text. a good sensation. I'm going to change this text also. The beauty of the burger lies in the taste of our clients taste board. I'm going to add full stop here. I forgot to add full stop here. I'm going to add full stop here also. So I'm going to work on this indicator. So I'm going to go to the left sidebar. So this is the first rectangle. So I'm going to drag this one down. I'm going to drag it down. So this second one is going to be in between like this. So it's coming from here to this. It's going to be like this now. I'm going to change my illustrations. I'm going to copy the second illustration. Ctrl C, Command C, and I'm going to click on this illustration, then paste to replace. Okay, this circle way inside. I'm going to bring them out. I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to bring them out. I don't want them inside my illustration frame. Good. I'm going to copy and replace, paste to replace. So I'm going to adjust the circles. Just going to move them randomly. Move this down here. Move this, and I move this. Just move them randomly. So I move this. So there's going to be an interaction as you're moving in the screen. I'm going to move this. So this is done for the second illustration. I'm going to do the third one. I'm going to change the text. Taste with company. You can enjoy with everyone around you as you enjoy blissful feeling. So full stop, blissful. I'm going to change this also. I'm going to bring in the rectangle, the rectangle that is in the second place. I'm going to bring it down again, the same way I did in the second screen. I'm going to drag it and take it down. That's my left sidebar. I'm going to click it and take it down. You can see that the position is already changed. I'm going to copy my illustration again. This third illustration, Command C. I'm going to paste to replace here. So I'm going to change the position of my circles. Okay, so we are done with this. So I'm going to change this button to get started. Get started. So now we're going to proceed to the prototype. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to my prototype and I'm going to start a flow point. I'm going to use this plus here. So now I'm going to connect each one to the other. So when you click on each frame, you see the circle and the plus in the circle. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to drag it to the next frame. So this is going to serve as a connector between both frames. So I'm going to leave it in after delay. So I go to that on tap drop down and I go to the option after delay. I click on after delay. I'm going to put on instant, then I close it. So this is done. Now I'm going to do the same thing for this too. So I go to the next button frame. You see the plus is going to appear. It appears in the 4 edges. So I'm going to click on one and I'm going to drag it to the next frame. So I'm going to leave it on tap. I'm going to change this instant to smart animate and I'm going to leave it in linear. There are other options. I'm going to leave it in 300 milliseconds. And I'm going to do the same for this also. Okay, now we're going to connect the third one. So the same process, you link it and make sure that your options are intact. Smart animate and linear. Okay, now we go to our prototype. You're going to click on this arrow here, this present arrow. So you click on it, then the prototype. Okay, you can see the interaction, right? So next. So I'm going to press R or restart. Next. So here you have it, a basic tutorial on the onboarding screen. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about the sign up and the login flow because of our time is fast spent. So I'm going to be creating impressions for both the sign-in flow and the login flow. If you find this tutorial helpful, you don't forget to like and hit this notification bell for more design tutorials and tips. Thank you.